All right, welcome into Titans by Two. Brett, man, episode 10 now. Is this what this is?
Episode 10, man. It's crazy. We're getting more and more each week.
I ask you every time, and I don't understand why they keep letting us. But Austin Nelson here, Brett Batchelor, and we have a very special guest. No, this is not Eric Decker. No, it's not Ariani. This is Nate Bain. Nate, what's going on, man?
What's up? Third or fifth or 10th best, but happy to be with y'all.
We're happy to have you, man. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. So for those of you who don't know who Nate is now the digital and social media guru for the Titans. So he's the guy. You can follow him on Twitter at Nate Bain, and then also at Titans.
Yeah, Titans. We gotta get the followers up, man. Yeah.
We gotta get your follow game up. Hopefully, are you single?
Oh, single, yeah. Was in with the Rams for 4 years in St. Louis and LA, and got the Dodger game on now to date the podcast. But yeah, just hitting Nashville, and grew up here though. Grew up a little south of the city, but it's cool to be back. I got a hoodie on now. I'm not used to that. But yeah, it's like 102 degrees.
It's freezing outside. So, man, we're happy to have you. Thanks for coming on. But let's kind of dive into the game of what wasn't a game on Sunday with the Browns. Break it down, man. What did you see? What did you like? What did you not like?
We talked about it last week on the podcast about, this could be a big game for the Titans going into the bye week. And we knew that the Browns had a good defense, and they were towards the top of the league in rushing defense. And that showed this week because, DeMarco had 18 rushes for 59 yards, and Derek only 13 rushes for only 13 yards, coming off a career week for Derek the week before. So we knew that the rush game would maybe be tough, and honestly, I don't know if it's going to be this tough. And Marcus went 21 of 34 for 203 yards, no touchdowns. And shout out to Ryan Suckup, big MVP of that game for sure, especially with the game winner. But it was a much more hard-fought battle than we actually thought it was going to be, because we knew the Browns they weren't going to go down, easily, of course, but the Titans are the better team. So I expected a much more easy transition into the bye week and rather not having to go into overtime.
Yeah, I was not expecting this at all, to be honest with you. I figured, these are one of those games that the Titans usually have a Titans game and struggle, but not like that. Coming off a big performance like last week, I thought the passing game would have some momentum. I thought we would see Decker more in the offense.
Zero catches for Decker.
2 targets. We talked about last week we want to see more Delanie Walker, and we saw some Delanie Walker.
Yep.
He had the fumble. He also had the ankle sprain. He's in the boot now. So hopefully, it's just those things that are so frustrating because his team's so much better than what they're showing on the field.
Right.
So they just got a lot of stuff to clean up. I think the bye week came at the perfect time.
Yes.
For a lot of guys to get healed up, like Corey Davis, Jonathan Cyprien, Delaney now, DeMarco.
DeMarco really needed this one.
Just a lot of guys that your core players that are beat up. So you got to have them, fully healthy for this this stretch at the end.
Right.
So Nate, you're going to games, right?
Yeah. That's one of the. Yeah, I always think it's a positive, but you don't. Some folks that work in the organization or any organization, they get that weekend off. They get to drink beers and watch the game at home, but we're on the road. But it helps, especially for me being new, helps solidify relationships with players, just be around. But yeah, I'm on the road all the time, so games like we saw on Sunday that weren't the easiest to watch, you guys can turn them off. I'm there the whole time. So yeah.
I think me and Brett are kind of probably one of the 2 loyal fans who aren't trying to.
Yeah, seriously.
No, you guys bring up good points, and it was talked about in the media a lot. Like, is every win a good win or whatever it is? There's no such thing as a bad win. With you, I think we all would have liked to see that be kind of run away. I think I walked into that game telling one of my PR coworkers, like, let's just win this thing by 3 or 4 touchdowns. But I think the Browns have lost 4 of their 7 games by 3 points or less. So, there's some stuff there, but I still agree. Like, the game was only shown in like Nashville or Tennessee, Ohio, and then like parts of Portland and Oregon. So it wasn't a huge interest across the nation. But yeah, we want to take care of business. But Greg Williams knows his team well. He was a coach for the Titans for a while. They've got a great group of guys there with Danny Shelton and Collins. You would like to see, like you said, throw the ball a little more, at least to the average fan. You got Peppers is out, McCourtney's out, some more. But yeah, I think the best thing you hit on was DeMarco didn't look like himself, or at least didn't show the same burst. I think like a couple times he hit the outside. I just remember one like outside run to the right. I felt like he was just taking off, and he kind of had a little hitch. So yeah, I think the bye week's coming for a good time for us. But at the same time, yeah, I remember the Monday after the Dolphins game, and then this Monday of this week, and yeah, we would like to see better, but that win, the win column is a whole lot better being 4-3 than 3-4.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit. So, I mean, you're there in the locker rooms. What is it? What's the difference in the atmosphere? Obviously, this is kind of a dumb question, but seriously though, in a loss, what's the locker room like? Then a win, like you saw on Sunday.
Oh, certainly. So like I used to do hoops. I went to school at Oregon, did grad school at Tennessee, and did basketball that whole time until I got in the NFL. And basketball, you have so many more games. Guys are a little more loose. Like you only have 16 games, so everything is people are really, really upset when you lose, and people are really, really happy when you win. Yeah, man. I think after Monday night and after Jacksonville, Seattle was an emotional win. You're up, but I think even in this past weekend, we still had guys that were excited. I mean, remember Taylor and Juan. All the reporters asked negative questions, and Taylor's like, "God, we just won this game." Like, I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. So. I was happy. I think for our guys internally, it may not have been covered that big in the media, but Tim Shaw, most of our diehard fans know who he is. He travels with us on most of the games, even though his ALS has progressed. He was not able to travel with us due to a variety of reasons, and so I think that was heavy. And to win that game when he wasn't there, Coach gave a game ball to him, and they presented to him last night at his golf tournament. So. Yeah, I think there's a little bit extra special, regardless of the win being 3 points or by 24 points. It was a special win. And I think our guys know, like, we were like one of the best teams in the league in red zone efficiency last year, and now we're not the worst, but we're nowhere near where we were last year. I think if you fix that a few times here and there, I saw some stat on Twitter that a ton. Like we're one of the top 5 or 10 teams to get to the red zone. Now we just have to execute in it. So. If they can iron that out in the second half of the season, I think we're gonna win the Oakland game. We're definitely gonna blow out that Cleveland game, and I think our schedule is one of the easiest schedules in the league going, well, at least on paper, going forward. So there's some optimism, but we got to obviously execute.
You talked about the red zone efficiency and how good it was last year, and I've talked about this year about how good it is to have such a good special teams unit as a whole. I saw that you tweeted out the other week about the Bible verse that Ryan Suckup says to himself every time for every kick. And, we've talked about this before on the show in previous podcasts about how, honestly, so far this year, the MVP of the team might honestly be Brett Kern. Because, I mean, he's top 5 in the league in punting right now. And you look at this week, he had another 4 punts for 208 yards, which is a 52-yard average on each kick. So being the fact that both these guys are having stellar years and that Bo Brinkley's such a good snapper and everything like that, what is really the relationship between those 3 guys that lets them play so well on the field?
I think that's a good point. I came from the Rams, like I said, 4 years, and Johnny Hecker's one of my favorite guys on the team, personality-wise, and he's also the Pro Bowler. He's very outspoken on Twitter. Jay McQuaid and Greg Zerline, those guys are really, really tight. They play cards together. Their families hang out together, blah, blah, blah. So I was really kind of, I don't know what I'm going to get into coming here because I had such a good relationship with those special team guys. And we had such a good, the Rams are a completely different team this year, but that special teams unit is still really, really good. I was surprised when I got here. The personalities aren't the same, but they're still a tight unit. You have Brett Kern, who was here when Rob Bronis was here. Rob Bronis obviously died. His anniversary of his death was not too long ago. He wore a Baronis jersey at practice. You got Suckup vocal about his faith and how that helps him, and Kern is the same way. And then you saw Brinkley go out in the preseason, and we had a punt blocked. Like that's a lot of different things, examples. But the short version is they're a pretty tight-knit group, and they're all pretty important to our unit. And I've heard through media and other people that a lot better. Darren Bates. It's been huge. Just if you see him, if you notice him on kickoffs, if you're at the game or on TV, he's always dancing.
Always.
He's getting in guys' faces after the kick. Like he almost got in a couple fights. Cleveland, I don't know if you want to fight, but at least get some juices flowing and gets people amped up for special teams. and we've been inches away from a couple block kicks. So team's game is huge. Like I said, from my Rams experience, Hecker could flip the field. In a couple of those games last year, we were only 4-12, but some of those games were won just because of him. And you see him, Suckup has won a little bunch of games for us just on his kicking ability. So hopefully that continues, man. But yeah, their unit is pretty tight, and I think that shows.
For sure. So follow him on Twitter at Nate Bain. All right, Nate, we're gonna play a little game called Get to Know Nate.
Yeah.
So we're gonna break it down. I think a lot of people on Twitter are loving your personality, which you bring to social media. It's fun that we finally have somebody like that's they're interactive with a lot of fans, and I think people who have Twitter want to see the Titans out there and have fun with it. So, you live in Nashville now. What part of Nashville are you living in? I don't want to don't give me your address or what.
Oh, you're good. No, I'm downtown. That was one of the perks, I suppose, from LA. We live like an hour outside of LA, and I could pay about the same amount of rent for a single apartment downtown that I paid for to live with 3 guys outside of LA. So, I wanted to experience downtown and have all the fun of that comes with that. So, I'm downtown, and it's been cool so far. Yeah, Moon Taxi's a Titans fan, and they're a local band. They're playing at the Ryman this weekend, and that's going to be fun. And yeah, it's been cool just to pop in and out of different bars and concerts. It's cool. Predators kicking up, and that's always fun to jump in and see. So, yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Favorite bar downtown so far?
Dude, there's a lot of good ones out and about. I'm not as in – like I'm getting older now, so I'm not into the craziness that it once was. But right down the road from me, and it's kind of low-key out of the way. I think it's a Chicago-owned bar, but they got some arcade games. They're all free. They had the baseball game on night. I just came back from there. Like, that's a pretty good spot. So shout out to HQ. It's a good little place to have a low key night. I like it.
I saw you tweet out when you first came to Nashville that at least from the picture standpoint, it looked like that Nissan was almost right there outside your window. Is it really that close to you?
Yeah, I definitely can see it. I can literally. I'm looking at it right now. So that's kind of cool. Another perk of I've moved here. Training camp was starting in a week, and there's so many apartments down here to look from. I was like, I'm gonna pick one that looks cool. So let's go with this one, and we'll figure the rest of it out later. But I literally can see Nissan and then Bridgestone from my spot. So it's pretty cool.
So with the job like you have, you've been to, let me ask you this real quick. Were you at Oregon with Marcus or before Marcus?
We were recruiting him. I think my last year was 11, and he might have came in 11 or 12. He might have came in 12.
Okay.
So, no, but I definitely remember that name. We got this kid we saw in Hawaii. We really like him a lot. And I just remember hearing that because I was with Hoops, but we were in and out of basketball. And that's the school has grown tremendously since I've been there. But so I was there with Jeremiah Masoli and Darren Thomas and Dennis Dixon and some of those guys. But yeah, I think everybody was excited when Marcus came to campus. They're still there. And the thing that I kept hearing over and over, and that was part of the excitement, take the job. John Robinson was part of the reason I took the job, and Marcus definitely was, and in the city of Nashville. But everyone's like, dude, he's such a nice guy, I'm like, this can't be that nice. But, dude, he's just chill. Down. I think he's definitely, like I said, part of the reason I'm here is excited to see what he can do. 23? Yeah. So hopefully, if he stays healthy, we got a long ride with him and see what he can do.
For sure. So that's kind of bring on our next point. So, with a job like you have, what's it, are you looking to always move to a new city, to a better franchise? I mean, what do you want to do? Do you see yourself being with the Titans for a long time, or how's that process work for you?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think everybody looks at it differently, but I try to avoid the X's and O's of it because that stuff changes so fast. I mean, we saw it with the Rams. I literally took an opportunity to come closer to home, and just like some personal reason. I hadn't been here in 10 years, so I thought it was a cool opportunity. It's hard to move in Nashville and stay in pro sports. And overnight, they go from 4-12 to 5-2, leading the division. So you never know. But some people do. Some people want to go to the bigger cities, the bigger markets. But no, I think the short version is I'm excited and hope to be here for a while. We got a uniform change coming up next year. The team's young and exciting. We have a ton of cap space. So from the X's and O's standpoint, there's a lot of promise and stuff to be excited about. Also can lend itself to some disappointment, but yeah, I'm excited to be here for hopefully a long time.
Cool. Bro, you got a question for
Are
me?
you actually? Yeah, I got one. Are you like south of Nashville in Tennessee, or are you just from like the southeast?
Yeah, I'm from a town called Pulaski, so it's like
Oh, I know where that is.
40
Exactly.
an hour south.
Yeah.
Pretty small. Time we do something, we come up here. Parents had season tickets, so I went to all those games. It's kind of cool. I mean, I grew up loving Keith Book. Keith was like my favorite.
Yeah.
And stuff, and then to him be still around and to go hang out with him and do his radio show and stuff was kind of cool. And he's still an awesome guy. So yeah, so from here, and so I went Pulaski to Oregon, did 4 years of school there. Quick stop at sports marketing in Cleveland, Ohio, and Cleveland's actually not a bad town. Everybody gives it a bad rap, but it's actually pretty cool. It was cool to go back there this last weekend and see some old friends. Then went to Knoxville and worked for hoops there to go to Sweet 16, and then went St. Louis, LA, Nashville. But yeah, where are you guys from? Are you guys from around
Yeah, so I'm right here in Smyrna, Tennessee.
Nashville?
Yeah, I went to college at MTSU.
Yeah.
Graduated there with the major in sports broadcasting.
Yeah.
So I was there for 4 years. Just graduated in May. So I'm a big KB supporter. I'm a big Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Byard guy. So we had class together. So seeing him do as well as he is crazy to see because he was so big time at MTSU and everybody loved KB. So just now to see him, flaunt his talents on the big stage is incredible. So yeah, that's me.
He didn't even get invited to the combine, and a lot of kind of people overlooked him. So it definitely is really well. And probably one of my favorite athletes of all time is Benny Cunningham. He was at MTSU to the Bears now, but Benny's he's made the Rams for my whole career there, and he's one of the coolest people, one of the best people. So it's good to see those guys from, local MTSU talent playing well on the big stage is really cool.
I'm from Huntsville, Alabama, or just outside Huntsville, Alabama, in a town called Madison. It's still like a good size, but honestly, if you just say Huntsville, people know where you are instead of saying Madison. So, but yeah, I'm still in school right now. I'm on the golf team at University of Montevallo down here just south of Birmingham, Alabama. But lived in Madison my whole life, so I've had season tickets, and ever since the Titans moved to before the Titans even moved to Nashville, my family got season tickets. So we've had them forever, and when I get off weekends from practices and stuff like that, I still drive home, and then we drive up to Nashville for the games, everything like that. So when I have the time, I'm there, but usually most of the time I'm down here for now, just south of Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, that's for me. That's the biggest thing I think that I don't know if it's a problem, but it's like something we have to deal with. You have a lot of fans, like your parents, and you too. Remember those good times, and now your parents are getting older. Some people the kids are grown up. They've moved off. They're not going to games anymore. They may give up their tickets. The team hasn't been good for a while. So, like, how do we – and my job, hopefully, is to interact with you guys and other people that are kind of in our age range to maybe they're fans, but let's bring them back, or let's get them interested by being a little edgier on social media or doing something like that, and do these podcasts, do cool stuff like this. Because that's the cool thing. Our fan base isn't huge compared to New York and Green Bay and these teams that have long histories. But we've got a pretty rabid fan base. I put stats out on my social media every now and then, and they take followers and then they divide it by the engagement that you have, and you get like a formula, and it has interaction rate. And we're consistently, especially when we win, top 5, if not top 10, top 15. So we're in that upper half of the league every time. But that's cool to see with such a small social following compared to the Patriots, who have like 2 million.
Yeah.
So we've got some promise here. We just gotta win.
Absolutely, yeah. And that kind of brings me to my next point. So when you guys, put cool videos out and memes and gifs and whatnot. So is it just you? I'm sure you have a team with you. It's just you're not the brains behind the.
No, we're growing. We're one of 2 teams in the league that only have one person doing social. It's us and the Bengals.
Okay.
Most of the teams have 3, 4, 5 people. So that was a concern with coming here, but sometimes it's a fun challenge. Like, all right, it's just you. You're going to hopefully build a staff. Video-wise, we didn't have much, but now we hired a senior vice president, and he's got 2 or 3 other people. He came from the Hawks. And so hopefully you're seeing little by little things improving. We didn't have a graphic designer. We just got one of those. So hopefully little by little making some moves. But no, we're actually one of the smallest content staffs in the league. But we're finding ways to – and I mean, that's where you guys come in. So like the Titans Reddit, I check it all the time. I love it. And they're making different memes and different Photoshop stuff. And I've asked them, hey, I'll give you credit if I can. So that kind of helps engage and get our brand moving forward when I don't have the resources.
You know, I'm sorry.
Well, go ahead, Brett. You got it.
Yeah, that's one thing that I was kind of thinking about too, is like the videos and stuff like that. When I was at the Oakland game beginning of the year, and something that I noticed that popped up this year was, and I don't know if this is you, but like you're talking about the video stuff, is every time the Titans get a first down, when those Warriors show up on the screen and start making those chants, everything like that. At least in my section, that was like really popular, and everybody started love doing it, everything like that. And shout out to section 327 for liking that. So where I'm sitting at. So everybody at least around me in 327 and around 2026 and 25 and all that, everybody seemed to like it a lot and get into it. So I think that it just seems like the more fan engagement that there is at games, and even like off days and stuff like that and bye weeks and stuff like that, it just seems the more fan engagement there is, it helps just to build things. And I just wanted to see what your take was on that too.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know what happened before us, but I definitely heard from fans that it was stale. It was very average. Like, we just did stuff to get by. You got a lot of new people coming in and bringing ideas, and sometimes we're going to swing and miss. But, yeah, that's we have a new broadcast guy. He came from the Hawks, and part of it, some of that was actually like the Titan mascot, which we have breaking news here. We don't have a name for it, so we kind of just keep it mysterious. But he's on the sideline walking around. He's not T-Rack. But John Robinson, Coach Malarkey, they wanted to kind of add that, I don't know, Trojan, Spartan, whatever you want, feel to it. And then our production guys took it the next step further. But I liked it too. I thought that was, as soon as I saw that, I was like, dude, I didn't know it was happening. Because we don't have anything like that. The other teams, like NFC North teams, have a song, they sing. Other people have different things that they do. But yeah, I agree with that. I think it's cool. I think it adds to the flavor, and plus we had a lot of hype this offseason. You know, that's why people are so upset right now that we didn't blow out the Browns, because everyone's so excited. So, but that's a good problem to have. But yeah, hopefully we keep moving. We've got some cool stuff outside the stadium. Broadway's always awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to slowly bring things back up into the 2017 where most other teams are.
Yeah, I went out before the game, the Monday night game, and I was at the FGL House, if you guys are familiar with that. And I had to walk across the pedestrian bridge, and just seeing the banners, the Forge Ahead and whatnot. I love what you guys have done about bringing more of the, I guess, like you said, the Titan, the Warrior, the Soldier feel to it, because that's awesome. Having the guy on the sideline, that's super cool. I mean, 'cause that's what you think about. You think of somebody like that back in the day being that bulky and masculine. That's what you want the Titans to be. They talk about it being the physical, exotic, smash mouth, hard-nosed football team. So that's what I mean. I kind of feel next year with the uniform change. I've talked to Brett about this. I think, I don't know how much you know about this, Shed. You can, you have to say a word about it if you don't want to. But I just feel like it's going to be a huge mix of that kind of stuff in the uniform.
Now, actually, I don't know. I wish I knew more to kind of like tease and just so I could be ready for it.
Yeah.
I've heard that it's not going to be a drastic change. Like, the Lions kind of tweak their unis. The Browns kind of tweak their unis. I think those same elements will come into ours. I don't think we're going to go red or anything. I think it's going to go that two-tone blue. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see. I saw a fan art that removed the flame and kind of, like you said, had like more of a Greek mythology type, like stone around the T and the TriStar. That would be cool, but I think I think the logo is going to stay the same. I don't know, but yeah, increase that type of stuff. I love T-Rack, and we've got a lot of cool stuff like that. But to your point, I think let's get grittier. Let's get a little more, I don't know, football smash mouth type thing. I think we're a football team. That's what we are. At the end of the day, social media and all this other stuff's cool, but we're like a football team that hits and tackles people on the field. So let's kind of bring that back to to life. I like that.
So let's kind of get back on the football thing real quick before we write this up. So Kevin Byard, the guy we were just talking about, 3 interceptions. We haven't seen that since the guy you were talking about, Nate. Monday night with 3 decent Saints back in the day. I mean, I'll never forget that. But it's cool you have finally got. It's a guy we wanted to see, be the leader on the defense, be the center fielder, quote unquote, and that's exactly what he did on Sunday. So, Brett, what were your thoughts on that? Just seeing how well KB played.
Fantastic, dude. We talked about that. We've talked about it all season, how we both love Byard. You went to school with him. When he was drafted, I didn't exactly know who – I had heard the name. I kind of knew who he was, but not – I didn't know he had this much ability. Now he's tied for the league with the most interceptions, tied for the lead, in the league with the most interceptions. And, again, I've just talked about – time after time, the way he just seems to ever since day one we've been doing this podcast, I've just continued to call him a ball hawk, because anywhere where the ball is, that's just where he seems to be. And the way that he can read plays, and I know Deshaun Kaiser overthrew, I don't know who the throw was intended for, but Byard was still there, and if Byard didn't intercept it, Adore would have intercepted it well on his first pick. But the fact that Byard was still in the general area of where the ball is just continues to show that wherever the ball is going to go, that's where he's going to be, and he's going to continue to be a playmaker.
Yeah, for sure. So, Nate, we're going to do a new thing tonight. We're going to keep doing it from now on, but we'll introduce it tonight. So, if you ever watch Scott Van Pelt tonight, he'll do the best thing I saw today. Brett idea. It was his idea to say, the clap of the week. We usually, give a golf clap to somebody. So I'm going to start it off. I'm going to go the clap of the week was obviously Ryan Suckup. For keeping us in the game. I know he missed one, but he bounced back in overtime. Thank God to Hugh Jackson for calling him, try to ice him, which didn't work. But, my clap goes to Ryan Suckup.
Yeah, so was it a timeout or the 2-minute warning? I think I think he actually hit the 2-minute warning, and then we kicked it. But regardless of what happened, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm going to go with – it's not often that I get to say this right now, and I don't know how often I'll be able to get to say it, but the Titans – this week relied on the defense to win the game. It held the Browns to under 300 yards. Yours was Ryan Suckup. That was a question I had in mind. I thought about maybe Kevin Byard with his 3 picks. But, I was like, what? They held the Browns under 300 yards. They relied on the defense to help win this game. So, shout out to the Titans D. There's my clap of the week.
I like that. Put me on the spot. You're taking the 2 good ones. If you guys listen, part of my take, they do the Mount Rushmore and they get the last ones. But, no, I'm with you. I think I actually looked at Pro Football Focus, and Marcus was the 2nd-rated quarterback this week. You could give some love to him. I think he's still not 100%. Marcus is the easy one, obviously, but he's learning how to play football without running. I think his first instinct is always to take off, read, and progress. And I think there's somebody pointed out on film, he checked down to Taiwan, and he actually had Delaney streaking. So he needed a little more patience there. He missed Decker deep. He got his foot stepped on by Klein and misses Walker in the end zone. But he still made good decisions, didn't turn the ball over, checked us out of some plays into better plays. And so just by sheer positivity, and I want it to keep growing, I'm going to give it a quick golf clap to Marcus. Okay. If we're going to win, it's going to have to be on Marcus's shoulders. And so he's learning how to play quarterback from the pocket, which is nice.
Yeah, we'll end with this. I mean, as much criticism the team got this week, as much, I guess, animosity on Twitter from fans. It's fair to say. I know you get it a lot in the mentions, Nate. It is so fair to say, Titans fans are the most fair weather fans I've ever met in my life. I
was surprised by that. There are a few, but that's what makes it fun. But I don't know if it's even Titan fans. I think it's just fans in general are tending to skew toward that. But yeah, I mean. At the Rams, the diehards were the older fans, and then anybody in between. There's so many more fans that would tweet at, because I still follow the Rams closely, that would tweet a few times, but now, dude, they're running podcasts now. They're doing blogs and stuff, contributing to SB Nation, where they weren't there before. So shout out to you, you guys. This is great. I could talk to you guys all day. I'm definitely going to check this out more often now. But shout out to you guys doing this after 9-7 and a 4-3. At a bye week before everybody jumps on board. But, yeah, that's what makes it fun. Somebody was asking me about that the other day, and they're going to talk trash to us when we beat the Browns by 3 points. But if we happen to win, and we make the playoff or something great like that, then I can talk trash back to those people and old takes or whatever. And if we don't, then I'm going to get bashed on a lot. So it's just the nature of the job.
It's like you said from the Twitter page, hi haters.
Yeah, hi haters. That's our new thing now. People really got upset about that, which I was more to the media because a lot of media were upset, but a lot of fans took it like it was at them. So we may have some fun with that in the coming weeks. We'll see.
I thought it was great. I laughed at it immediately, so it was good.
That's fine. Lawan's like probably one of my favorite. I've got a lot of favorite players, but probably Lawan's up there number one.
I was going to ask you that. That was my next question. Like when you're in the locker room, like who are guys like you don't have to give one. You give me like three guys in no order. Lawan's that's an easy one.
Yep.
Yeah. Lawan is as you could imagine, he's got a taxidermied beaver named Steve, and he gave Conklin a owl for his birthday. Like it's out of control. I guess he's matured a lot since he started, but he's still out of control. Who else do I like? I'm excited about Adoree. Adoree's a good guy. He's fun in the locker room. He's not wild and out of control, but I'm excited to see what he can do. Who else is really, really good at maybe like different? I brought Bates up. I really like Darren Bates a lot. Plus, he with the Rams.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who's somebody different that is good.
I follow Tajay Sharp and Adoree on Snapchat. And they're always fun.
Yep, same.
I know they had the basketball hoop in the locker room.
Unfortunately, Sharp I hadn't got to be around because he's on the IR and he's kind of rehabbing and kind of in the background. I will say, it's kind of cheating, but our entire linebacking core is pretty. They're leaders. They're fun. We have like a Nerf basketball goal. They're always shooting on. They're keeping guys in check, but they're also keeping stuff light. Rack, Wesley, they're all pretty solid dudes. So, Derek Morgan's doing stuff at South by Southwest. I think he got his law degree or something recently.
Let's see.
I think post-career, he's going to have a pretty – you guys know Gary Vaynerchuk? You guys pay attention to him at all?
No.
Yeah. He's not like a media mogul, but Morgan signed with him as an agent recently, or he switched over. So there's some pretty interesting guys. We'll have to try to get one of them on your podcast sometime. And
yeah. That'd be fun.
Good player.
Nate's our guy now.
Two questions real quick. One, is Arakpo's voice as deep as it sounds in videos? And two, I know Darren Bates is from Memphis and everything like that, and I saw the video you posted where he pulled up his shirt and he had the tattoo right there. That was when I first saw that, I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. But then I realized, okay, that's in the middle of his stomach and his chest. So that had to hurt to get it in that area with that tattoo.
The tattoos craze that's another whole topic we should probably talk about at some point. I'll come back, reoccurring guest.
Yeah.
But we just cut Tyler Ferguson, who's a practice squad quarterback, and he's got portraits of like famous people on both of his arms. He's got Jack Sparrow, which is a fictional character, and he's got Walt Disney, and he's got somebody else. He's got like the weirdest tattoos. But yeah, Bates is covered in them. He's got Grizzly logos, and he's got car logos, and he's got code. I'm trying to think of who else. Taylor Lewan's got.
He's got to have the most tattoos.
Taylor Lewan's got like a mustache on his finger. He's got like a little stick man on the side of his hand.
He's got the leg sleeve you can't ever see.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting tattoos in our locker room for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to push. We had a cool feature in LA where we featured guys' tattoos. I know it's a more conservative region of America, but I think we'll hopefully try to bring that up this off season and sit some guys down, point out the tattoos that they like the best, and kind of give a story on them. That'd be kind of cool.
Get to know them. Yeah, that's good.
All right, so
yeah, go ahead. I'll ask you a question. What's the biggest improvement on social media, and what's something that we still need to like work on? You think? Do y'all have any? That's a hard question to put you on the spot, but
I like the fan engagement. Definitely when the page started following more fans.
Yeah.
I know that a lot of the fans thought that was big and stuff like that. Maybe something. Let me think of something more. Because honestly, like you said, it's
tough to be on the spot. I think a lot of people said like behind the scenes, players taking over the camera, doing some of that stuff on Snapchat and dropping it out. And that'll come as they get more comfortable with me. Honestly, like sometimes you go up to a guy and they don't know you, and they're like, I don't know who you are, where you're from, but
I know from a like just from a fan standpoint, it's so much better than honestly what it used to be. And like you said, it was before fans said it was kind of broad and stuff like that. And so I think just the fan engagement has been so much better, and I think that to be able to continue to do that. And I know like I've seen stuff before. I don't know if it was you that did it or not. The Titans did like a lifetime fan, and they featured him on their Twitter page and stuff like that. So I've seen things like that before from different teams. So I think the fan engagement is just something that's really big, and I think when you do fan stuff like that, it continues to bring people back because they're more interested and they know that they can either get responses or likes or know that they just know that the team is there in general and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. You talk to different people across that have my job across the nation, and everybody has a different take on it. But my thing is, we're all a community. Like when Titans win, we're all happy. When they lose, we're all sad. And not follow 100 people and just keep it like just sending out news. It's more of it's engaging. It's interaction. It's fun. If you have a funny tweet, you send it at me, I want to retweet it or like it. Or
kind of like the one thing that I thought was absolutely fantastic is when you did the Adoree Jackson memes or the gifs or whatever like that with all the pictures and stuff like that.
That was money.
Yeah, and then the one with Byard the other day when they put his face on Chance the Rapper and stuff like that. All those were fantastic.
And you did it for us, Nate. When we had the picture with the Batman building. I mean, that was huge for us.
I forgot that was you guys. Yes, dude, and that one killed it. That was before when I reposted it. That was like one of my best posts of the whole week. So yeah.
Awesome. So I run our Twitter account, and Brett's always feeding me ideas to tweet. He's always DMing me, hey, tweet this, tweet that. So I like to think I'm pretty social media savvy, tech savvy at times. So we're always trying to find ways to improve us too. And I mean, we're always going to feed off each other. So, but for you, I mean, that's the thing that I'm loving a lot from what y'all are doing is the ride with the Titan, the little kid with the Titan. That's awesome. It's a funny conversation. This is a quick 2-minute video that you can just laugh at. What you guys have been doing lately, though, like we're giving away, retweet this for a giveaway. That's huge. I mean, people are going to retweet that automatically just because it's something to give away. I mean, it's something Titans that they always want. So whatever it may be, tickets, this or that, whatever. I mean, keep doing that because I think it's awesome.
No, I think that was cool. I don't think anybody's ever done a game ball, and so like our equipment staff makes up. So if you have like Suck Up Pie got one, Bird got or Buyer got one, Suck Up got one. So what they do is, instead of taking the actual game ball, they have side game balls that they have like a panel on, and they'll paint your name on it, the score, and your like achievement on it. And so every time we'll pick one every home or every win, so not every home game. And I'll do that. Like if you guys win it next week or whenever it is, I'll put your name on it, put the score, put all that stuff, and send it to you. I got DeMarco Murray jersey that he signed. I'm gonna try to give that away tomorrow, I think.
Cool.
Or Friday. But yeah, it's easy way to get engagement up and give cool stuff away that we were just sitting on. We're normally not give away. So
real quick, we talked about how
we said real quick 9 times.
Yeah, I know. I know it.
Good.
But, like Austin he's from the area and he's been a lifetime fan. And I mean, I'm a little over 2 hours away, but like I said, we've had season tickets since the team moved. What is something that, as you run the social media, you have kind of like, I guess, fans like us that have been there since the team's literally been in Nashville, and people that are just now becoming fans. So, you have an older generation, a younger generation. How do you have to stay up to date on a way to connect with the older generation and then stay up to date with because I mean, like an older generation might not know who Chance the Rapper is when you put Buy It on there, but a younger generation like us will know that. So what do you have to do to stay connected to all fans?
No, it's super tough, especially when it's one person doing it. Different platforms, like I put the Chance the Rapper edit that one of our fans did on Twitter, and it did pretty well. People understood it. Excuse me. And I put it on Facebook, and people were like, I don't know who this is. So I have to remember, 48% of our Facebook audience is almost 1 million people are over the age of 35. So I kind of forgot. I was like, I'm just going to post it everywhere. It'll be cool. Forgetting that most of the people don't know who that is. I'm big. Just kind of came from LA. It's that organization is looking more international. They're playing in London. They're playing in Mexico. They're playing in China. But we've got an Ireland fan club. We've got a France fan club. Yeah. There's a couple of rock bands over in London that like us. So I just sent a whole care package to them the other day. So trying to think of doing any stuff like I don't speak Spanish, any ties to Mexico or the Hispanic culture, but like that's a huge like we were in Houston for a while, so there are a lot of fans that followed us up there. And when they had the earthquakes that hit Mexico City, we put out like a quick graphic that's like, hey, just send in well wishes in Spanish. We did a Mexico Independence Day, and I got a couple of things lined up for Hispanic Heritage Month that we did. But dude, those got amazing results, and people internally like, first of all, kind of questioned me, like, why would we do that? Because that's not really our Tennessee demographic. But then they saw the overwhelming like positive feedback we got from it, and they're like, oh, wow, that's actually something we probably should look into. So yeah, not only the age difference, but we've got different people from all over the world. And it's kind of cool. That's the cool part to see you from Alabama, him from Tennessee, and then talk to somebody that's in Ireland that can't wait to fly a flag at their pub in, I don't know, on the countryside. So no, the short version is it's super hard. It's always trying to think of Ride with the Titan resonates well with the older crowd and the younger crowd. Chance the Rapper does the younger crowd. People, Instagram's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. How do we take advantage of that? So there's no one science to it, but it's talking to you guys. It's the interaction helps a lot for sure. Yeah, there's no real clear answer because every team is fighting to do the same thing, and a lot of it's that too. I got a group chat with all the social people across the league. Big thing I want to do, like we never interact with the Grizzlies or Predators really before. I guess the team actually did with the Predators on social. Yeah. I know Amara in Memphis, and she's awesome. So try to steal some basketball fans. I know Memphis and Nashville, I guess, hate each other, but we're trying to bridge that gap. Stuff will be cool. But no, it's always growing and evolving, and a lot of times we're switching back. Hey, I saw something cool the Bears did. Like, how'd you do that? What did you guys use? And a third party for like our gifts, like our reaction stuff. Like when Sucker hits a field goal, he's like on fire. We didn't have the resources, so I called up the Browns and the Panthers that both use that. Like, how did you guys – they're actually using third party. I'll give you that number. And so we kind of worked through some stuff like that. So it's always evolving, always moving, always communicating. Behind-the-scenes stuff is cool. I'm glad that you like the Nissan Ride with Titan because Nissan comes to us and says, we've got money. We want to spend it with you, but we want something cool on social. So then they come to us and say, hang out because we're getting paid to do this. And so it's a collaborative effort where video says, I got this idea and I got this idea. You know, Kid Reporter is a popular thing, but no one's put them in a car before. So it's kind of hodgepodge of different things. That's what keeps the job fun is every single day it's something different. Can be kind of tiresome, but it's also kind of cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, Nate, man, we can't thank you enough, dude. We appreciate it more than you know to come on here and just kind of pick your brain about, you know, social media and the Titans and how we're growing on, you know, interacting with fans and whatnot. But hey, I got one favor to ask.
Yeah.
I think I've had my Twitter since 07, 08 maybe, and the Titans are my first follow.
Let's go.
I'm gonna need that follow, Nate. I need the Titans to follow.
Yeah. It's already off. Yeah. So I follow the armchair account. What's your actual? I'll just do it while I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that now. So follow before we wrap up. Follow Brett on Twitter at Brett Bachelor. Follow me at.
You got me.
There you go. You've been holding on me, Nate. At Austin Nelson. I should pop up, and then the man himself, the legend, at Nate Bain.
What's your actual? Oh, here it is. I got you right here. Austin. Gotcha.
I'm in there.
And our own Twitter page at Armchair Tighten Up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a thing. I think I'm gonna tweet something out. So maybe we get like a lucky follower to finally get a follow from the Titans or something like that. We'll figure it out.
No, if we win against the Ravens, we get a little win streak. Got to come back on, and we'll make it a habit if we can have some positive results.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If we lose, then I'll never come back on again.
This was a lot. It was fun. We're glad to have you, man. We're seriously happy to have you in Nashville. But no doubt we'll do this again soon. But you're listening to Titans by 2. Hey, 4-3, top of the division. I mean, it's a
that's the thing, man. Everybody's upset, but we're in first right now.
Yeah.
I'll take it. And I think if you look at the schedule and you pick the part, 4-3 sounds pretty good when you have the Raiders, the Seahawks. I mean, I don't know how many people thought the Seahawks are obviously a different team, but beating the Seahawks, beating the Jags, wins. So
Yeah, it's go time now. It's
Dolphins are in the playoffs right now.
Yeah. Yep.
We'll see. All right, man. Well, it was fun. Nate, for Brett, I'm Austin. Tighten up.
Tighten up.
Tighten up, y'all. Appreciate it.